All right, day 6 of my Bold and Fearless 30 challenge. I'm going to share something that used to scare the bejesus out of me. Okay. Um, okay. Let me do it. I had to think about this for a minute. But I want to share something with you that scared me, and it's not going to, I hope it, let me just not give any disclaimers. Like, even as I'm talking about it, some of the old feelings are coming up. I used to be scared of making plans. The reason I was scared of making plans was because I didn't think that I was going to live long. Some of you may know my story. As far as being told I wasn't going to live long, having a chronic, medical condition, and just all the times that I would be in the hospital. Also happened to being born and raised in a Pentecostal apostolic church where, we always heard about us being in the last days, and it was a mixture of things. Also growing up in the 80s and really 80s, 90s, really being in that place of like the different wars that were going on and different situations. So either way, it was a combination of things that made me believe that I truly wasn't going to live long. Okay. So there would be times when I would literally think of plans and I would begin to get really like nervous. I would get really scared. I would definitely have feelings of dread. And it was difficult. It was so difficult. I mean, even as I think about more present day, I realize that in a lot of ways I don't make plans. And when I'm having to make plans, it gets me a bit anxious. So it literally held me back. I mean, that's the truth. It held me back personally, professionally. And it was literally because I didn't believe that if I set out to do a thing, that it will come to life. And because of that limiting belief, I limited my potential. It prevented me from jumping full speed into my business, earlier than when I did. It prevented me from really enjoying life. Some of you guys may have seen recently where I'm like, oh, I want to go to Dubai. I want to travel. I want to do these things. Some of you maybe have even been around when I showed pictures of me jumping out of, a plane, going skydiving. And it was all because I had spent so much of my life not wanting to do more than what was right in front of me, because it was scary. It was scary to think about a future that I wasn't so sure I'd have. And so I didn't plan. I didn't live life to the fullest, so to speak, or even subscribe to that you only live once sort of way of thinking. I just didn't. And it got me to this point where I realized that there's no way in the world that I can continue to not plan, to not live, to not forge full speed ahead into my business, into my calling, into my purpose. I couldn't do that anymore. Like, I literally had gotten to the point where after divorce and dealing with all the things that led to that, I'm like, I don't even know who I am. I don't even know what I'm doing. And what I discovered was this fear of not planning a future was actually just a delusion. As I tell people, a cognitive distortion. It's, as they say, fear, it's false evidence appearing real. It was a barrier that I put on myself. It was a self-limiting belief, like all those things. The inner critic, when I would try to get myself worked up. I mean, people were even confused, like when I got my doctorate, of why aren't you celebrating anymore? Like, what are you going to do to celebrate? I even have one of my good friends that she'll be like, okay, so when are you going to celebrate? Even when I make milestones or reach milestones to this day. Um, but at this present moment, I no longer allow that fear of living, that fear of planning, to essentially have any sort of power over me, um, because it wasn't allowing me to have a higher quality of life. And at this point, instead of being in fear of that, I have become this catalyst or advocate for growth. A reminder to myself, and even I try to remind others that um, may look at my videos or follow me in any sort of way on any of my socials. um, I like to be a reminder that embracing the unknown and embracing the things that you fear can actually lead you to a place of transformation. um, Even with this particular challenge, even though I didn't post the past couple days, I am not into posting on Sundays or my days off, but I'm catching up here. Um, I I really got to this place where I was like, I have to push beyond that. I have to push to the other side, and I want to encourage you essentially to fearlessly confront any fears that you may have. Fearlessly and boldly be able to plan, to invest in your future, to maybe even plan for these major, bold moves that you maybe thought were impossible before. You know, embrace the challenge essentially, and get to a place where you can unlock or discover who you really are. And I love to be an example for those that may feel that their calling or that big, scary, audacious thing that they've been wanting to do is within reach. And it just requires you to get into alignment. And that's why I help faith based and Christian leaders align again to your purpose. Because when it's all said and done, when you get into that space of purpose fulfillment, you're a lot less likely to operate in those fears. You're more likely to trust in God, and you're more likely to take those next steps based off of what it is that you know God has revealed to you for your life. So, again, this is me catching up and wanted to share with you guys something that I fear in hopes that it will motivate you to address and confront the fear, the false evidence appearing real that may be present in your life that may be the very thing keeping you from getting in alignment with your purpose and really seeing your life really have such a greater, a more expansive impact on a global level. Okay, so you guys take care. Y'all be blessed. And, I'll see y'all around. There's more to come. All right. Take care.